Charlie, Chicky, and the Eggs. Written by Danny Katz. Illustrated by Mitch Vane. Chapter 1. The Rock Star. Charlie Chicky wanted to be a rock star. He wanted to be rich, he wanted to be famous, and he wanted to travel all around the world and sing in front of thousands of people. Every day he dreamed of standing on a large stage with brightly colored lights shining down on him. But he wasn't allowed to be a rock star, because he was only 9 years old. His mom wouldn't even let him cross the street by himself. So Charlie Chicky just had to pretend to be a rock star. Charlie Chicky would go into his bedroom and close the door and pretend his bed was a rock and roll stage. And he'd pretend his bicycle pump was a rock and roll microphone. And he'd pretend that all his sister's dolls and soft toys that he could find were the rock and roll audience. And then he'd jump around and sing. Oh yeah baby bayab waiuhu ya rock and roll oh hey hi ya ya. And when he'd finished the song, he'd make all the toys clap and cheer. Except for the doll without arms who couldn't clap, so she just cheered. Then Charlie would say, thank you very much, and he'd sing another song for them. He'd jump around and sing Yahoo-cha rock and roll hey ho hey rock and roll hubba ho, and he'd keep rocking and rolling until his mom called him in for dinner. Chapter 2. The Rock Band. But Charlie Chicky was becoming a little bored just singing all by himself. He knew that most famous rock stars had their own rock bands. Charlie Chicky decided it would be cool to have his own rock band to play with, even if they were just pretending. He asked his friend Manik to be in the rock band, and Manik said, all right. So he gave Manik a tennis racket and told him to pretend it was a guitar. He asked his friend George to be in the rock band, and George said, yeah sure. So he gave George a little party whistle that made a funny noise when you blew it. Then he asked his sister Sally to be in the band, and Sally said, okay. So he made her the drummer. He gave her a can of beans and told her to bang it with an old wooden spoon. Then they all stood up on Charlie Chicky's bed and performed in front of the dolls. Manik strummed his tennis racket. He didn't have anything to strum it with, so he used a corn chip from the kitchen. And George tooted on his party whistle. When he blew it really hard, a little curly thing popped out. When he stopped blowing, the whistle curled back up again,